Ashley Hartwell. Everybody calls me Ashley. Well, I guess I'm called other things, but not to my face.
And so today, what we want to do is want to introduce you guys to who we are, man, and how we met. So we met 16 years ago yesterday. Well,
we got engaged 16 years ago.
We got engaged 16 years ago yesterday.
Speaking of which, y'all may not know what today is, but today is February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. So yes, we got engaged on Valentine's Day 16 years ago. Dee and I both went into the military. We're both in the Army.
Hoorah. No, there's nothing right with it.
Ew, I can't believe you even just said that.
It's
Y'all please forgive him. Don't charge it to his heart, man. I swear. He's getting old, so I'm offended.
I'm not.
So anyhow, we both went in the military, in the Army.
In the Army.
Okay, just in case there's any confusion. We were both in the Army, and we both went into medical jobs. So
I was 6th Day Quebec.
And I was, 68 for me too now, right? It's not 91.
I don't know.
Well, back when I went in, it was a 91 Sierra, which was preventive medicine.
And I was 6th Day Quebec pharmacy technician.
So we both had to go to AIT or our schooling to learn how to do our job. We both were medical, and for schooling in the Army, for medical jobs, you go to AIT or school in San Antonio. So we were at Fort Sam Houston. We got there January of 2003.
Yeah, because I went to basic training in October 2002.
So did I. We're actually at the same basic training. We actually
Fort
saw
Jackson.
each other in Fort Jackson,
We did.
South Carolina.
It's so crazy.
Like
it's
3
so
times.
crazy. I remember seeing her. We were doing this deal to sell pizza, and so all the platoon guys and the squad leaders the first squad leader had to come in there, and so I'm in there sitting in there, and in walks Ashley, and man, she's looking busted, bro. When I say, listen, she walked in because they was in the field. So she walked in looking crazy.
First of all, in my defense, no one looks fly in basic training. I had the full-on cornrows from Set It Off. Okay. I was dirty. We had been like low crawling and all this stuff. Yeah, I was pretty busted. So heck, I wasn't trying to date nobody in basic training.
So that was our first time meeting. Hold on, let's stop.
But we didn't meet, actually. We saw each other. So we actually saw each other in basic training 3 different times. So
3 different times.
We were at the same place at the same time. Didn't know each other.
It's so crazy how things work like that. Like you see somebody that you're gonna be married to for the rest of your life, and you don't even know that you're gonna be married to him for the rest of your life.
Crazy.
That was crazy.
It was super crazy because so 3 different times that we saw each other, which I can agree on 2 of the 3. The one time when you said you saw me in choir, I don't remember that. Anyhow, we used to go to chapel on Sundays. It was a way to, one, escape your drill sergeants and duties that you do on Sundays. And for me, it's when I wrote letters. Dee comes walking in super late with 2 other guys, and the chaplain has them come to the front. He says,
oh yeah, I remember that. That was me. That was me, White.
They're both names White?
Yeah, both our last name was White. So it was me, 2 whites, and
it was just the 3 of y'all.
No, it was Timothy. It was Tim. This dude named Tim. His last name was Tim. So it was me, Whites, and Tim. We all came in and we sat down at the very, 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 very back.
Yeah, they tried. And then the chaplain made them come to the front. Dee, actually, I was writing letters, and he walked right beside me. And I remember looking up at him and thinking, like, dang, he is so tall. And went back to writing my letters. Had no idea he'd be my baby daddy.
Crazy. I think that was the first time, right?
That's the first time I saw you,
That's the first time. Then the second time was the pizza deal.
Yeah.
Where...
You're towards the end of basic training at this point.
Yeah, so we got to sell pizza and everything like that. And so she walks in and from the field, and oh man, when I say
I was beautiful, I was
she
like
was
an
looking
angel. Hair
great,
was
same. Everybody looks the same. So you like, but then at a certain point something switches, and then people start looking good in them BDUs.
I don't think I looked good. I had like the cornrows from Set It Off. I
And
was
so,
dirty. I was sweaty.
But still, I didn't know this was gonna be my wife. That's what I'm saying. It's so crazy, man. That stuff like that happens where it's
I
like,
remember seeing him, but again, who knew he'd be my husband?
yeah, she had the drill. She had a first sergeant with a gold in his mouth. I had a gold in my mouth too, but her first sergeant had this gold in his mouth, and he was hood. I was like, this is a hood first sergeant.
So yeah, he was the best first sergeant I've ever had or seen. So
Yeah, he was the only one you ever seen, so he was the best and the worst.
that's not true.
He was. You never had no first sergeant before him.
Oh, so I didn't go to my duty station?
After that, but at that point, at that time, that was the best first
I'm
sergeant.
speaking from my experience in totality. Thank you.
So the third time, when I said the third time was?
You said I was singing in chapel.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was up on the stage, and they were doing a little deal, and they were singing, and I saw her. She sung. I thought she was singing. She was singing. You were singing by yourself.
Maybe I just.
And I was like, oh man, look at that. And again, I didn't know, and I'm like, okay. Man, she got a pretty nice voice. I eat my donuts. We having donuts at that time, so I'm eating a little donut.
Don't remember that.
I'm like, oh man, we get some donuts, and that's what I'm thinking about. Because basic training, you can't really have sweets.
No sweets.
And man, I got smoked one time for having some vanilla wafers. I had three vanilla wafers.
Eddie didn't do that again.
And I thought we could do them because the dude put them on my plate. And I'm like, okay. So since he put them on my plate, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna eat these. Man, I ate the first one. I ate the second one. Then I looked up after eating the second. I looked up and Drill started like looking at me, bro. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. So I just went ahead and put it down. I ate the third one. I think the third one. And I'm looking at him just like I'm looking at the camera. I look at him like I'm like.
Very smart.
And then after that, he comes outside. He's like, okay, everybody who had a vanilla wafer, raise your hand. And I know who had them. And I'm sitting there like this. And he's like, I know who had them, so go ahead and raise your hand. So everybody raising their hand around. I'm like, bro, I ain't raising my hand.
Mind y'all, he's
like,
was looking at the drill sergeant straight in the face.
He said, I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds to raise your hand. I was like, bro, he took us to a hill. The hill was like this. And he made us do these things called front back goes, where you're running in place, and then you gotta drop down the hill and start doing push-ups. Then you gotta jump back up and run in place. Then you gotta drop on your back and do sit-ups up the hill. So he's like, front. And you do push-ups, back. You gotta spin around, sit-ups, go! And you're running, front, back, go! Oh my goodness, that was the worst smoking I ever had in my life.
In my opinion, he deserved that. He knew
It was
better.
3 vanilla wafers.
Dude, he knew better.
Like, who smoked somebody with 3 vanilla wafers?
We all knew better.
You got to see me for that one.
That's not really thinking about you.
I know. I don't even know where he at now. You going to see me for that one.
Retired. So anyhow, we saw each other 3 different times in basic training. Had no idea that we would become each other's husband and wife.
Yeah. So you fast forward to AIT. We get the AIT, and once we get the AIT, I remember my roommate Garnes, the guy from Baltimore.
That was my boy. Oh my gosh, we were like besties.
And so I was in AIT with everybody that was in basic training with her. Everybody that was in basic training with her was in AIT with me.
Right. Essentially, my platoon or my group that I went through basic training in South Carolina, they were all in the same class with him, most of them. With few exceptions, most of them were in his class.
Yep.
So Garnes was a guy that was in my basic training platoon or my group that we had become super tight. We were so tight that like his son was born on my birthday. Just saying. So Garnes and your son and your wife, hearts. Just saying. He also kind of helped keep the vultures away because everyone thought we were going together, but we weren't.
Yeah, so I thought they were going together. So I wasn't checking for As a matter of fact, on our first encounter, well, let's go back before our first encounter.
Yes, let's.
We was outside in formation. If you can picture this big bay, it was tannish color, 3 floors up. You have this big open area outside in the front, and you have all these different Army people standing in formation, rows and rows of formation with their guide on, just standing there. And so I'm standing there, and so we got to go to the chow hall. I jump up and I grab the rim.
First of all, wait a second. Rewind. We were all out there, but we had to get in one single file line to go into the dining facility, okay? So the way the line was set up was like a big L. It was like this way, and then you would pivot and turn to go inside of the cafeteria. So I was kind of towards the end of the line with Garnes. D was further up ahead, like way further up ahead. As right before he got ready to pivot to turn to go in the line that was going into the cafeteria, he jumped up. He says he grabbed the rim.
I jumped up. I grabbed the rim.
He hit the back of the backboard.
No, I grabbed the rim.
And kept going.
Listen, I grabbed.
You can't even do all that in AIT.
Hold on, let me say this though. I could. I grabbed a rim. I hung on it with two hands and I spent the round. Now I had a goal in my mouth and the sun was out on that day. So when I spent the round, my goal hit the sun just right. And she saw you, boy. She saw you, boy, on the rim. That's how she noticed me right there. She saw you, boy, on the rim with the gold blinging.
So I can assure you that that is not what happened, because if I had saw his gold, I would have never even talked to him. But anyways, I see him. He jumps up, hits the back of the backboard, which is the true story. Comes down.
No one slaps the backboard, man.
Goes into the cafeteria. I'm like,
who is
that guy? Like, he's tall, he's dark, and he is handsome. So I'm spitting it to Garnes.
That was Trio.
Who's that? Garnes is like, oh, that nigga Hartwell. Oh yeah, man, that nigga cool. So I'm like, is he cool? Like, does he have a woman? Like, does he talk to anybody? Like, what's the deal? And he was like, nah, I ain't hear him say he got nobody or whatever. Want me to put you down? I was like, nah, I don't need you put me down, lying, telling him I said stuff I ain't say. I will put myself down. I was that type chick. We get into the cafeteria.
So we get in the cafeteria and we're sitting there, and there's some older Quebecs, some girls in my senior class, like meaning that they're about to graduate in before me. They're gonna graduate before me. That's what we call them, the senior class. And so I'm looking over there trying to check to see if they looking at me. You know, I got my gold. I'm like, this how it's a light skinned face now. And I got my gold bling. You know, I'm sitting back. I'm like, okay, I'm on the prowl right now. Hey, I noticed you noticing me, so I'll just put you on notice that I noticed you too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in that type of mood right there. And so my wife, well, Ashley at the time, Nikki.
Bethune at the time.
Ashley, Nikki, Bethune. She's sitting behind me. And she says, I just got an A on my test.
So first of all, let me tell y'all what I said. We were sitting, the deal was with us in AIT is our friends were mutual, but D and I didn't know each other, officially. So we hadn't met yet. He was very quiet and didn't really talk. He would laugh here and there, in different settings, but he didn't really say anything. And after he hit the backboard and we went into the defect, I decided I was gonna make a move because I just felt like it was something I wanted to see, what was good with him in AIT. Garnes had kind of given me the green light. So I knew I had just had my test the day before, and he had tests coming. And so I was like, hey, do you want to study together today in the gazebo this afternoon? And I can help you get an A on your test the way I just got A's on my test. So he smiles.
In my head, I'm thinking, boy, listen, she's cute. She's cute. I don't mind going study with her. I don't mind getting a little bit going with her. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. Let's do this. That's what I'm saying. Let's do this. And so we go and we go and that night, late on that night, we go to study in the gazebo.
First of all, let's rewind. The gold tooth. People. The gold tooth. Right in the front of the face. Just one. Dab smack in the middle. He smiles. He's got a beautiful smile, right? Excuse me. Beautiful smile. However, that gold tooth was killing me. I had some criterias. I would never date a man who had a gold tooth, and I never date a man with a baby. Those are my things.
I beat criterias. First of all, I take over criteria and I scrush them. That's just say scrush. I crush them. I crush criterias, man. I don't do criterias, man. No criterias here.
So anyhow, fast forward. We get to the gazebo. I'm ready to just, chill,
and
laugh, flirt, you know what I mean?
I was a L7, a square. I was so lame. Listen, but in my defense, I came for a reason. I was in AIT, I was in school for a reason. I was there to learn something. I was there to become this pharmacy guy that I came there to be. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to slip up and fail. I didn't want to slip up and fail. I didn't want to go home. I wanted to do what I had to do.
Dropping left and right out of his class.
We was in this thing called therapeutics. And in therapeutics, that's when we started losing people. We started losing people in the math portion and learning the drugs. People were dropping. Steroid products was killing, man. When I say steroid products took out most of my class, it took out most of my class. Like people had to get reclassed back in. So I'm like, listen, I'm not here for that. I'm here to get what I'm supposed to get, this education, and then move on to the regular army.
Saying all that to say, this guy came to the gazebo.
Study material. Listen,
with a study packet, sat across the table from me, and slid his study packet over and was like, hey,
ask
can
me
you
these
start
questions.
asking me these questions starting right
Ask
here?
me these questions.
I was like, okay.
I got 800 questions. I got 800 drugs to remember. Side effects. What the drug does. The contraindications. I have to remember all of this crap with these drugs.
Now,
man.
mind you, people, unlike this guy when we were in AIT, I had just graduated from high school. I was 18. And I was not trying to study, okay? Was not trying to study. I was trying to get my
I had just
on.
got through with a year of college, Jarvis Christian College over in East Texas. I went and did a year over there. And then after that year, that's when I went into the military.
So I'm asking him these questions. I'm like, all right, we're going to study. This will be the last time I kick it with him. He's lame. And at the end, we have curfew in it, military.
Here's my thing.
You're not your own person.
You're not your own person. Here's my thing, though. At the end, in my mind, I'm saying, okay, we're going to study.
5 minutes to go.
So we're going to study up until that last little bit. Because that last little bit, then I'm going to show them me, and then I'm going to get a hook. Because people remember the first impression, and they remember that last little bit that you give them. So I said, okay, I'm going to give her this last little bit, and she mine.
Okay,
this
so
is sold up already. It's
5
already
minutes
ordained.
left. He had me laughing. Everything was like, I was like, he is so funny. Maybe he's not as lame as I thought. So we pretty much from that point on spent every single day.
It was a plan.
Together.
Plan.
Pretty much every single day. We did break up like 10 times.
We broke up a lot. We broke up. It was all because of her. She's the breakup queen. Boy, she's one of the.
Listen, I had a lot of issues, okay? And I had a lot of criteria, as we know. So he kind of broke the 2 criterias I had. Gold and a child. Do you want to tell him about that?
I don't remember.
I do. So we're going along our merry little way. I'm ready in my mind to introduce him to my family. Like, this is going to be good. I had it play all out. He calls me down because we couldn't, like, we didn't stay on the same floors. We couldn't even go on each other's floors, okay? So that was, like, very separate. So he calls me. He's like, can you come downstairs outside? I want to talk to you. So I come out there, and he slides this picture over in front of me, a picture of his son, 2 years old. And he's like, this is my son. I just want to let you know, like, this is a priority to me. If you can't accept my son, then we can't be together. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not going to be together. I leave, go back to my room. I'm like, I can't believe this. He didn't tell me. Now, mind you, I asked him in the very beginning, jokingly, like, how many children you got out there? He was like, I got me a little baby. And I was like, oh, I guess we're going to be friends. And he's like, girl, I'm just messing with you. And here it is. Now that we're more serious, he's telling me about his son. So for me, just to give y'all a backdrop, I just didn't think I could do that. Like, I didn't want the baby mama drama. I didn't want to feel like every time he went to go see his son, he was sleeping with the mom. I didn't know that his son and I would be compatible. Like, it was just like a lot of things that I thought were against me in this process, and I just wasn't ready for it. I was 18, you know what I'm saying, with my own issues. So I go back to my room, and after some time in there, it's like the Lord truly convicted me about love. And if I love him, how could I not love his son? So came back to him and tried to make things right, and went from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
I can't believe you didn't remember that.
I do remember that. I remember that very vividly.
Oh.
I remember that very vividly. And then after that, like, so on Valentine's Day.
Mind you, we met the middle of January.
Yep.
I was 18 at the time, the end of January. So things kind of worked in 2-week intervals for us. So we met in the middle of January. 2 weeks later, I was 8. I turned 19 on my birthday, the 28th of January. 2 weeks after that, February 14th, we went out to dinner with a friend of mine and her guy that she was talking to at the time. And we came back to the room, and I actually called my mom. And we were talking about Valentine's Day, and she said, well, what you doing right now? And I said, oh, I'm back in the room. We're about to turn it in for the evening. She went off. I mean, like, all the way off. So she cussed me out about being in the room with a guy, this whole deal. Mind you, in my opinion at the time, I was an adult. I thought I could tell her the truth about what I was doing. But my mom is from the South, and basically you just don't do that, okay? So anyhow, she goes off on me. I'm in my feelings. I'm crying. She hangs up. I feel like it's the perfect time, which, just to give y'all also a little bit more, when I met him and we started talking, I didn't think we were interested in getting married. I just thought we were gonna kick it in AIT, you know, like it wasn't anything that was supposed to be serious. We were there for a few months. We were gonna spend time together, hang out, whatever. I was talking to several other guys in addition to him at the time, but at some point along the way,
I wasn't talking to anybody, just her.
He a lying. Ooh, he lying. He is lying.
Just her.
We lying? I thought we was gonna keep it real with these people.
Just her.
Okay. So anyhow, I was talking to several other people. He also was talking to several people. That's a whole other story. Also one of the reasons why we broke up a couple times in our like short courtship. But anyhow, time along the way, he really got in my heart, and I didn't know when that happened, but I was going to Fort Hood, which is Central Texas, for my first duty station. I knew that from the time I came in the Army. We didn't have his duty station at first.
Yeah, then I found out I was going to Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State. That's a far cry from Central Texas.
That's depression.
That is crazy. So,
no, brother.
I remember at that moment, because I was sitting in his lap, to recap for y'all, so I'm like full on in his lap, looking at the computer screen.
And I'm like this.
You know, so he's typing, I'm looking. It pops up, and I was like, tears just started like falling down my eyes, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why am I crying? Why do I even care? We just kicking it in AIT, right?
I know why you was crying.
Yeah.
I was in there like swim well.
I'm telling you. So I had to go and really have a heart-to-heart with myself about what is it that I really felt for this man, and what was I willing to do to keep him. And one of those things was I thought I needed to be forthcoming with him about who I really was. Because at that point, we were just chilling, kicking it pretty surface. I hadn't really let him too far into like my drama. And I was a little psycho.
Doo doo doo. Jesus Christ. Understatement.
Thank you. Goshly. Okay, I was a little bit crazy back then. My goodness. So it's Valentine's Day. My mom just went off on me. I was upset. So I tell him all my skeletons. I mean, all of my skeletons. You know how like one girlfriend know one thing, another girlfriend know one thing, your cousin know one thing, but nobody knows all things? I told him all things, thinking
Everything.
he deserves a chance to run. Okay? So told him how everything had happened.
When she told me this, a normal person would have got their bag and be like, you know what, I'm gonna run down to the desk.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I was fully expecting
They got
that,
a taxi.
to be honest.
Deuces.
Like, fully expecting that. So I'm like snotting. Mind you, my hair was long then, like it was on my shoulders. And I would like wipe my snot and then like grab my hair and be like crying and telling him different stuff. And then I would do it with the other hand. So I had like all these like snot nest balls, knots everywhere. Eyes were all red and puffy and like huge. My nose was red. I was all snotty. I was so sexy.
Yeah. And so, what I did was, I asked her to marry me. I mean, you can't, that's deep right there, man. When you're in the level there right there where somebody knows that much stuff about you, that's intimacy, man. I felt like I was seeing into her and who she was. I was knowing how she maneuvered, how she operated. I like that. I was like, man, I'm not scared. Listen, if anything, that makes me want to come in even more, you know?
I did not know what to do with that. It scared me. Like I first of all thought of myself as a toxic person, so I didn't want to marry him because he represented everything good to me. And I didn't say yes or no, I just said I had to go to the bathroom. So I went in the bathroom and I prayed within myself internally. I saw a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I scared my own self. So then I was like a double whammy because I'm like, I can't believe this man is asking me to marry him and I look like this. And I washed my face, brushed my hair, and I was like, God, please tell me something, show me something. I don't want to ruin him and I don't want to walk away from him and he's who you have for me. And I need your help. I know I'm not living for you right now, but I need you to guide me. Marriage is totally your territory. And I came out and he was knelt down and he was like, I just really feel like we need to pray. A family that prays together will stay together. So I said that's my burning bush. We got married. Well, not right away because we didn't know you needed a marriage license.
Yeah, we didn't know that. But yeah, so I asked him. Now let me rewind just a bit to the moment that I was like, man, I'm in awe of this woman. Like she was different from anybody that I had ever dated, you know. And because she was like a breath of fresh air for me. And so when we were in the hacienda.
Oh yeah.
We were in the hacienda, and in the military, everybody kind of wore their hair back in a ponytail.
Yeah, bun. If your hair is long and it fell on your shoulders, you had to pull it off of your shoulders and wear it in a bun.
So they had it in a ponytail. So we had her in a ponytail
All the time.
And then we was in the hacienda the one day up in the band room area where they play the instruments in the soundproof area.
It was like our first official date.
Yeah, we sitting there talking, and she does this. She lets her hair down.
Wait, he says, I'm talking a mile a minute, which is normal for me. And in the middle of me talking, he says, can I take your hair thing out and just let your hair fall? And I was like, okay.
I'm like, this right here gonna seal the deal. If their hair hit the shoulders and it bounce, I'm done. I'm done. She might well go ahead and marry me right now. I'm telling you. Girl. So we sitting there. She took it down and she went. She did one of these numbers. She went, and her hair would look like it was like wrapped or something. It was like, no, it was a pony. I'm sorry, it was a ponytail. Wrapped is the other thing.
So
but it was in the
dramatic.
ponytail. She popped it, the thing went, and her hair just kind of just floated down in slow motion. I'm telling you, it went in slow motion. Imagine that movie or whatever you watch when it goes in slow motion when the girl takes her hair down. It went in slow motion, like serious business. When I think about it, I see it in slow motion. I can't even see it in fast time. It went,
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
and it just fell. And I got 5 twinkles in my eye from right then. I was like, oh yeah, this is my old lady right here.
So speaking of 5 twinkles, we did get married. We got married 2 weeks later. We had to get permission from our commander to miss class because the courthouse was only open 9 to 5, which is when we would be in class.
On
9
weekdays.
to 5 on weekdays, and the courthouse is not open on the weekends. So we had to get permission from our commander, who told us 98% of marriages that happen at AIT end in divorce. And so we had to listen to that.
In like
whole
2
spiel.
years or something. I was like, 2 years?
Yeah, it was crazy. Which
Great advice,
ended up
bro.
being kind of true. I mean, he wasn't wrong to tell us that. But we went and got a marriage license, had it, and then a friend of ours, Jose Garcia, who was also a soldier, his father was up from El Paso, and he called us and said, hey, my dad is a pastor, he'll marry you guys. That was 2 weeks later. So we got married on February 28th in a hotel room. It was very romantic, minus the romance.
Had my basketball shoes in my hand because I was about to hoop.
Yeah, I had to ask him, like, are you going to put those
I was
down?
so glad. I was nervous.
We were both
I was nervous. Oh my
Had on a
goodness.
red Fat Albert shirt with some blue
Yep.
jean shorts. I had on khakis with like a dress shirt, and I had like a little piece of bang, and my hair was like pulled back with a clip in the back.
If I can find a picture, I'm gonna put it up. If I can find a picture of it, I will put it up. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
We were so young.
We got married right there, man. This was my wife.
Crazy. So yeah, we got married. It was so crazy. We
Yep.
were so young, babies marrying.
And now, I'm almost 16 years later.
On the 28th this month.
16 years. Here we are. Here we are. 16 years later. That's crazy. That's crazy. We
a
defied the
miracle,
odds, man.
actually.
Told you, man.
It's
Our
really-
criteria and the odds and all that, I defy those, man.
Give a smile for him one
I
time.
defy those.
Where that gold at? Oh, Oh. Yes, sir. Got rid of that gold. Fell in love with his son. That's my child. I don't care what nobody say. And where are we at now?
Man, now we have 5, not 1, not 2, like LeBron said, not 3, not 4, 5 children. 5 children.
5.
And so that's where we're at now, man. Right and now we're here. We're in Dallas, Texas, and we came up with this term called Heart Wellness. And this is the name of our channel, the Heart Wellness Experience.
But you guys need to understand what heart wellness means.
Yes. Now, Heart Wellness came from.
So our last name is Hartwell, as you know.
Yeah. And notice I made a Hartwell. That's why I'm making
what I was about to say was one of the things that's really special about it is when I met him and he told me his name and all that. One of the things he told me is, well, I'm Hartwell because I'll make your heart well. And those words couldn't have been truer. I was super broken, and I won't go into all of that today. If you guys want to hear more about the craziness of our marriage and all the stuff that we've been through and how it really is a miracle that we're still together, please comment below what you want to hear about. And anyhow, he told me that, and he has absolutely been a part of my heart healing. Like, he has truly done that. And in the course of time, we have, you know, dreams and aspirations like any couple. One of those dreams and aspirations is to have our own clinic called the Heart Wellness Clinic, and it will just really be about helping people live individually what is their most quality life of health. And so that's going to be coming in the years to come as God leads us. But another thing about it is to sentiment with that is whenever something is heated going on, you say heart wellness. Heart wellness shuts the conversation down from going to a heated
So
place.
now I have to give her grace and she has to give me grace.
Right.
And then we have to, I have to actually stop and listen to what she's saying. Or she has to stop and listen to what I'm saying. Or we both just have to stop talking about the situation for that moment and then come back and readdress it.
Right. And it's coined and gotten so like serious and relevant in our life that even like my best friend, like her and her husband will in the middle of like conversations be like, heart wellness. And it's like so funny because it's like we all know what it means and what it stands for and what it represents. So we want you guys to be a part of that. You can use it, you can say it. You know, we want to see you guys live your best life. We want to see your relationships be healthier. We want to see you be healthier. We want to see, you know, everywhere in your life increase to a healthier dynamic.
That's true. That's true. And with that being said, man, we're going to get up out of here. We thank you guys for your time, for watching our video, for hearing a little bit about us. If you want to hear more about more things like this, man, more stories, let us know. Comment down below. We got stories for days. For days. I can tell you a story for days about everybody.
Listen. 19 and 20 when we got married. 35 and 36 now.
I'm 25.
5 children later. He's in denial. 5 children later and a whole lifetime of experiences. So we got lots that we could talk about.
Yes. So, hey, that's the Heart Wellness Experience. And we're going to leave y'all with Heart Wellness.